Do you want to learn how to make this beautiful summer wreath with fresh flowers? Today I'm going to show you how. Also stay tuned till the end where I'll show you how to create a beautiful matching centerpiece for your table and an entryway arrangement. Hello everyone, I am Ramon and this is Ramon at Home. On this channel we talk about interior design, seasonal home decor, DIY projects and shopping tips, all on a budget so you can create a space that tells your story. In this video I want to show you how to make this beautiful summer wreath with silk greenery and fresh flowers. The things we're going to need for today's project is some wire cutters, water tubes. Now let me tell you about these water tubes. If you don't know where to find them, go to your local florist and ask for them, because when the flowers come in, like orchids, we dispose of them. So I always try to gather a few, and you can also find them at your local craft store. So get some water tubes. We're gonna get some wire, 18 gauge wire, our glue pen, beautiful palm leaves, as well as beautiful fern foliage that we're gonna create the wreath with. If you want to watch this video, please stay tuned. Don't forget to like this video and share with your friends. And if you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. Let's get started. I could not be more excited about creating this wreath because I've been thinking about it for a long time. You know, sometimes when something gets into, or like an idea gets into your head, you could just not let it escape. Well, I've been thinking about this beautiful wreath for a while now, and it's made with silk greenery and fresh flowers. And I'm hosting my family for dinner tonight, so I figured that I could create a beautiful summer look for very inexpensive if I add all silk greenery and then just add a whole bunch of fresh flowers. So what I'm doing is I'm giving the wreath the form, and what I like to do is I start with the bigger foliages on the outside and the smaller foliages on the inside, and I go in a counterclock motion. By doing that, you ensure that you keep the balance going on your wreath, and also it gives it the shape that you're looking for. So what I like to do is I start from the top, and then I work my way to the bottom and back to the top on a clock motion. And I've been playing with water tubes and flowers because we use them at the flower shop where I work, and we water tube a whole bunch of flowers so they will last longer. Instead of just putting them on dry materials like the foam, we put them on water tubes and they last longer. So that's where the idea for this came. Like I told you, if you're looking for water tubes, go to your local florist, because sometimes we get flowers and they come in these little tubes and then we dispose of them because we have so many of them and we really don't need them. So I just got a few from the shop, and they're gonna come in handy for this project. I've been saving them for a long time because I knew they would come in handy, and I always just like to keep materials like that because you just never know when you're going to need it. Alright, so far we've given our wreath the shape, and now it's time to fill in. And I'm gonna fill in with some of these ferns. These ferns are smaller and they're gonna be the filler. I have a bigger fern that is also gonna help us extend the shape of it. But for right now, I'm gonna go ahead and put all of this fern in, and I will show you what it looks like once all the ferns are in place. As you guys can see, I started to add some of these really long ferns, and what that's going to do for us is going to elongate the shape of our wreath. Now I like to add this big fern in sets of 3s, that way it's more of an impact, and I will not do very many of them. Just need 3 on the bottom, probably 2 on the top and 1 on each side. And if they're too long, just don't be afraid to give them a little cut. Because sometimes the longer they are, the floppier they get, and we don't really want it to be super floppy on the side. So what I did is I give it a little cut, and I'm gonna insert this one on the side, but not before I insert into my glue. That way it can extend the shape. Look how beautiful that looks. Actually, I think I'm gonna add one more to that side. As I told you before, work in sets of 3s, 2s, and 1s, because that will be a better impact than just having one. As we like to say in the industry, we don't like to dot them around. We like to group them for better impact. So I'm gonna add one more right here. And keep in mind that I'm working in a counterclockwise motion, because that's how you're going to keep your balance when it comes down to wreath making. Always, always, always work in a counterclock motion. Alright, I think I'm gonna add one more right here because I have one left. And so far it's looking so beautiful and so big. Now the benefit of doing a wreath like this is because it's gonna be done with fresh flowers. You can always keep the form of the wreath and then keep inserting the fresh flowers as you go. So I recommend you guys do one of these and just keep it for special events. This will be beautiful for a wedding. All right, so far so good. And as you can see, oh, this one sometimes I have to give my twist and manipulate them. Well, see, this one I think it's too long because it's about the same height. So I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take it out and I'm gonna give it another cut because it's just too long to be with the other ones. They have to be staggered in a ladder motion for them to work, and I'll show you what I mean as soon as I insert this one. I'm gonna insert right here. Perfect. You see how you have like it's a triangle versus all of them being at the same height? I think it looks beautiful so far. So I'm gonna get the fresh flowers ready. I will explain to you how this works, so stay tuned. Okay, once we have our form all filled out with our silk greenery, it is time to add the fresh flowers. So what I did is I have created little bouquets of flowers on these water tubes. Then what I do is I wrap a wire around it, and with this wire I will attach to my wreath form, and with the greenery I will hide these water tubes. So kind of like this. Once you insert the flower, you want to hide that water tube with one of the foliages. Let me do another one. So you have your water tube, then you have a little wire like this. You're gonna wrap it around, and then you're gonna spin this water tube as tight as you can. Once it's like that, you're gonna go ahead and insert this guy right here into the form. Now you're gonna tie it in the back with a little wire. And then what you want to do is you want to find the foliage and hide that water tube like that. So let me add all of these flowers and I will show you guys what it looks like. So this is the end result. What do you guys think? Do you like this look of silk greenery with fresh flowers? I think it looks absolutely gorgeous. But wait, there's more. I'm gonna show you how I make the matching centerpiece for my table and my entryway arrangement. Let's go do that. To create this fabulous centerpiece, what we'll need is a collection of blue and white pottery, some greenery, and fabulous fresh flowers. The very first thing I did is I laid a runner of really pretty blue and white pottery, and I started adding some fresh foliage that I just cut from my yard. And the next thing I want to do is add some silk foliage, because that is a secret I can give you. You can always mix your fresh and your silk foliage. I would always recommend to do more of the fresh, but then you can always fill in with some of the silk foliage and your table will just look fabulous. But we want to add some of these grasses, and we want to add some of this palm leaf, and we just want to make it look like our vases are filling up with beautiful greenery. So that's what it looks like right now. I'm gonna get the fresh flowers and I will show you how I put them in the centerpiece. Okay, so I have gathered a beautiful selection of fresh flowers, and what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna go ahead and give it my little snip and start inserting them on my centerpiece. And I wanna do one at a time, and because I want to distribute the flowers. If you have so many of one color, you wanna make sure that you distribute them all throughout the centerpiece, because that's what's gonna give the centerpiece some balance. But don't be afraid to just insert flowers as your eye tells you to, because that's what flower arranging is all about. I like these really pretty carnations because, you know, carnations is an underrated flower in the flower industry, and I just think it's so beautiful and it lasts longer than any other flower out there. Also, I love these garden roses because they are so beautiful to the eye. They just look so pretty and they smell heavenly as well. So I'm going to go ahead and add that there. We have these really pretty orange roses, and I always try to include orange when I decorate with blue and white pottery because it really pops from the blue and white. I think it's such a striking color to be combined with blue and white pottery. So we just want to let them do their thing. We want to let them flop to the sides. And as you can see, once you start filling in with the flowers, your foliage becomes second nature to the bouquet, and it really doesn't matter whether it's fresh or silk. you want to tell the difference. Alright, let me continue to add some flowers to this centerpiece. If you guys like how it's looking, let me know in the comment section below. And let me also know if this is something you would do for a party. Let me add another garden rose right here. Perfect. Now I'm gonna add some of these spray roses, which is an accent flower. And this I want to cut a little bit shorter so they start filling in the gaps, like right here. Perfect. I'm gonna add one more right here. This is a really pretty garden look that I would recommend for a luncheon, for a party, for a birthday, Mother's Day, or just to impress your friends. Who doesn't like to sit down and have dinner in a beautifully displayed table like this? Alright, we'll add a few more of these carnations. I'm going right here. Like I said, you want to make sure you distribute all of the flowers. You want to have all the same type of flowers in all of the vessels. That way the balance is what you're looking for. Got one more right here. And I really like the way these grasses make it look a little bit more wild. Alright, one more rose to the little container over here. And let me bring some tulips, which is what's going to give it that floppy look to it, a little bit more or less put together, and it's going to make it look a little bit more wild. So let me get those tulips and I'll be right back with you. I love tulips because they have this really wild look to them, and I love to add them to my bouquet and just let them do their thing. I like the way they just flop from the vessels, and I absolutely love that look. It's a little bit more natural looking because that's how they grow in the wilderness. So I just want to let them do their thing. I want to let them fly as high as they can, but just make sure that the stem goes in the water because they need water. Now here's the thing, do you guys know that tulips is the only flower that will continue to grow after you cut it? I asked a few designers if they knew why that was, and nobody can tell me the reason why they continue to grow, but it is true. Once you cut them and you put them in water, they will just continue to grow, and I think it's so cool. It's like they refuse to give up their life span, and they just continue to grow and continue to flourish. Thumbs up, you guys, if you are enjoying this little tutorial. Let me bring a wide one, so I want it to come down right here. Flower arranging is all about just letting your eye dictate where the next flower should go. Let me add one more here to the top, and I think we'll have it. Okay, so this is what this table is going to look for our luncheon, but now I want to take you into my entryway and show you how I make an arrangement the people will see as soon as they walk into the door. Let's go. For my entryway table, I have selected also a selection of silk and real greenery. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and insert some of these silk greeneries, and I just want them to fly. So when you select a greenery like this and you buy it from the market, you have to make sure you fluff it. You want to give it some character, and you want to make sure that it's not flat because that's not how nature grows. So I want it to spill out from the container, and so you want to make sure that all of your forms are going each way. Then to fill in, I'm going to add this fern, and I'm going to add it in the middle just to fill in some of the gaps in there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some of these fresh accent flower, and also make sure that it goes wild in the container because that's what gives you that really pretty natural look. Like I said, I want it to spill from the container, so we get this look by deconstructing the greenery and making sure that it just flies everywhere. Let me get the flowers and I'll continue to show you how this is done. Because I'm going for a more wild look, I chose the rest of these tulips. So what you want to do is just want to make sure you insert them as well. Like I said, just let them do their thing. Don't try to control them because tulips are not to be controlled as they grow like this in the wilderness or in your garden or your patio. But you want to make sure that you are checking to make sure that they're going all the way around your container. This also could be done with foam, but I don't really like to work with foam because it doesn't give you this wild look like this right here. I think it's a bad one. So just go ahead and make sure you distribute all of these tulips. Okay, I gathered some of these really pretty purple carnations, and we're going to make sure that we insert them in the container in sets of twos. That way they show better than just one of them. And we're going to do the same with the flowers. It is better if you add your flowers in sets of twos because by being together they just show way better than if you were to dot your flowers. And that is a rule I follow. It doesn't matter whether I'm doing a small bouquet or a large bouquet. Just try to group them together that way. They can be seen from further away. Okay, I'm gonna add this last rose right here. What do you guys think about the whole look? I hope you liked it. If you did, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends. As you guys can see, it's super easy with just silk greenery, fresh flowers, and water tubes. You can create this gorgeous wreath for an event, whether it's a wedding, a baby shower, or just a luncheon like I am having with my family. And the benefit is that you can take those flowers out and keep the form and do this project over and over again. If you're wondering how long this is going to last, the water tubes will keep the flowers fresh for up to 24 hours. So make your beautiful wreath and enjoy. Now I'm gonna turn it over to you. Let me know which arrangement do you like better, the wreath, the centerpiece, or the entryway arrangement. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up and share with your friend. And don't forget to subscribe to Ramona Home for future decorating ideas like this. Until then, bye. I have 5 hacks on how to decorate your bathroom like a designer. If you live in an apartment or a small house and just don't know what to do with that small space, I'm gonna show you with a $50 budget and some ideas, and following some of the rules I already taught you about interior decor, you will be able to decorate any bathroom and make it look like a spot that you've been wanting to have in your